Peace, y'all, and welcome into another tea time. You already know the vibes, divine destiny, back at it like a coffee addict. And we're just going to jump right into today's vibes. Okay, today's tea time is going to be about destiny swapping. And just like the way it has been portrayed in popular culture, social media, it's like a negative connotation to the idea of destiny swapping. So, we are going to be discussing why that version of destiny swapping does not work and jumping into what destiny swapping truly can mean and how you can use it to the best of your ability to your highest good, highest self, and highest purpose. If that sounds like something that's interesting to you, then go ahead and vibe with me. We're going to jump right in after this quick commercial break.
Are you an ambitious co creator with a strategy that feels out of alignment? You're meant for mastery, but if your vision feels blurred or your next move isn't crystal clear, you're wasting your most valuable asset, your energy. That's why I created the Divine Alignment Blueprint. This isn't just a reading, it's your personalized 90-minute strategic command session. We pinpoint your highest purpose, clear the energetic blocks, and forge your sovereign action plan, a precise divine strategy to accelerate your purpose for the next 6 to 12 months. Stop guessing. Start commanding. Book your Divine Alignment Blueprint session today and unlock your undeniable destiny.
Okay, so like I said, jumping right into why destiny swapping doesn't work on the other person, right? Destiny swapping, as it has been defined in like popular culture and social media, is having the desire to live someone else's life and intentionally, whether like through magic or through just like energy and intention and your actions against that person or toward that person, trying to shift their frequency to your frequency and vice versa so that you can essentially jump into their energy and receive their abundance, their blessings, whatever their life is, and you would swap your frequency and they would get whatever it is that you're running from, essentially, because you gotta be running from something to want somebody else's. That's a personal opinion anyway. Um, but let me tell you why that does not work, right? I'm not going to say it doesn't work in the sense of if you have put in the energy and the intention to live like somebody else and take on their lifestyle and their energy, that it's not going to work because you can. However, I think it's very important to recognize that if you want to walk in somebody else's shoes, if you want to walk in somebody else's life, if you want someone else's blessings and abundance so bad that you're willing to do whatever it takes to swap energies with them, then you also have to take on every lesson, every burden, every heartache, every loss that that person has gone through to walk in their shoes, right? Most people are not born with a silver spoon in their mouth, to say the least. And even if you are, you go through every life is lifing for everyone. You have your own mental, emotional, internal battles that you deal with. You have your own external stressors, whether it's like family or responsibilities or expectations, societal standards, whatever it is, there's pressure placed on all of us, no matter what our social economic standing is. That is part of the game, that is part of the matrix, right? That's part of getting out of the rat race, is freeing yourself from the social standards of the world that has been created for us, right? And with that being said, no matter who you are, you have been through something, right? You don't just get and gain and receive blessings in abundance and not have put in any work, any energy. Faith without works is dead. That was last week's tea time and reading, honestly. And it's very much that energy. Like, the universe is not going to reward you for nothing, right? Whether it was like you have dealt with so much karma, you have healed so much karma, whether in your own life or from past lives or from family lineage, you've done that work, so you're being rewarded in some way, right? People don't understand or see what lies beneath the reward and recognition that comes for people. People only see like, oh, I love their life. They got it so easy. They must. If I were them, I would. If I had that energy, if I had that money, if I had those looks, if woulda, coulda, shoulda kind of energy, you know what I'm saying? But like, people will obsess in that so hard that they feel like, well, let me just go ahead and get the energy so that I can live the way that I would live if I were them. Long pause. Long pause. Hard pause, because what that's beyond me. That mindset is beyond me. But anyway, it is real. So there are people who will absolutely try to manipulate you or control you or misuse and abuse your energy, your money, your beauty, your abundance, so that they can in turn like receive the light, the love, the admiration that you get from your own accolades. You know what I'm saying? From your own successes, from your own light, from your own energy. There are people who will come and try to like a siphon from that, correct? Right? That's an energy vampire type of energy. And this is literally no different. Like, people who try to destiny swap with other people are to the highest degree energy vampires, right? And so with that being said, it doesn't work because they then have accrued your karma, right? People want your life, they want your energy, they want your abundance without knowing or seeing or recognizing the shadows you had to heal through, the traumas you had to heal through, the drama, the depression, the anxiety, the isolation that you had to walk through, right? Nobody sees the path you walked, they just saw the abundance you got to at the end. So destiny swapping doesn't work in the sense that they're not going to get what they want from that experience because they don't have the energy, the fortitude, the resilience to push through the shadow energies that you had to push through to get to where you are, right? Spirit might say, okay, yeah, I'll let you have a little bit of daylight. I'll let you feel like what it is to experience and live like and exist like this energy because that's what you want. But also, you have to deal with what they dealt with mentally, emotionally, spiritually, energetically, financially, through betrayals, through losses, through heartaches to get to that energy. They didn't build this abundance. They didn't build this resilience. They didn't learn how to shine these lights. They didn't build these boundaries for nothing. They learned how to do this through the process. So if you want to be here, you got to learn how to do this. And I think people fail to recognize that, okay, yes, the swap may have worked, but now they're accruing. I don't even want to say they're accruing your karma because they created this karma for themselves. They lightened your load because they wanted to figure out what that was, and that energy has to come somewhere. So if they're pulling it from your energy, then they're lightening your energetic load and pulling those burdens into themselves just to get a piece of what it would be like to feel like you or the next person. Destiny swapping only works when the intention is to swap with yourself. And what I mean by that is Destiny swapping is another way to say quantum leaping, quantum jumping. Destiny swapping is another way to say jumping your timelines, becoming, stepping into your highest self, right? You destiny swap with your highest self, with your higher self, with more aligned versions of yourself every time that you elevate, every time that you grow, every time you shift into a different version of yourself, you destiny swap with your highest self, or a more elevated version of you if you're not necessarily stepping into your highest self, right? You destiny swap with yourself successfully, and that's the only time destiny swapping successfully works, is when it is for you, with you. When you look at yourself and you say, I'm not 100% happy with where I am. I'm a little discontent. I'm a little bored. I I know where I want to go, and I'm not necessarily sure how I'm going to get there, but I'm going to shift my frequency and I'm going to manifest like I already have it. I'm going to be that energy. I'm going to embody that energy of whatever it is I'm trying to manifest or call into my life. I'm really going to feel it and be it, right? When you really step into that manifestation energy, they tell you it's not about saying like I want. It's about stepping into the energy of I have and I am. So, with that being said, when you step into that energy of I have and I am, then you are literally shifting your energy, shifting your frequency. You're swapping your destiny because you're shifting your timeline energetically, right? You're shifting your timeline to a different energetic frequency, to the energetic frequency of a more aligned version of you that's in more alignment with your highest good, highest self, and highest purpose, right? That's destiny swapping. All that other, listen, that's foolishness. Because the same energy that somebody would be putting in trying to dim your light or change the way people look at you, manipulate the way people look at you, or manipulate how you look at yourself so that they can begin to step in your energy and walk in your energy and embody your energy, right? Wear your energy, wear your confidence. The same energy someone puts into that, they can be putting into themselves and like actually gain their own confidence, actually, build their own light, build their own resilience, build their own beauty and abundance. But they're putting in and racking up their own karmic debt or trying to siphon or steal yours. And honestly, from what I've learned in my own personal experience, is like spirit might allow this energy to go on. Spirit might allow them to actually get a little taste of what it is to stand in your light, to stand in your confidence, to feel as beautiful, to be as abundant. You feel me? Like spirit might actually let them get a taste, specifically to see how they're going to move with that energy, to allow them to accrue more karmic debt for themselves. Spirit will let you do that just so you can dig a bigger hole for yourself. Because if you are moving with the intention to destiny swap with another person, that's exactly what you're doing. You are setting your own trap. Destiny swapping doesn't work when you're doing it for the intention of swapping energies with another person, because you are setting your own trap. But when you have the intention of doing it with yourself, you are setting yourself up to be propelled forward into elevation, into alignment, into progression. Because somebody could choose to or desire to swap destinies with someone who looks like they have more on the outside, but on the inside doesn't have anything, or does have what they, what they want or what they need energetically. But like I said, it took them forever to get there. It took them trial, tribulation, and trauma to get there, blood, sweat, and tears. And if you're not willing to walk through your own trauma, trials, and tribulations, then you're definitely not going to be willing to walk through that of someone else. That has been the message, man. Destiny swapping does not work unless you are doing it with the intention of swapping with another better, more aligned, elevated, and progressed version of yourself. That is the only way to successfully destiny swap. Do not believe the hype that destiny swapping has to do with people trying to steal your energy and steal your abundance, because in reality, it doesn't work. They cannot do that. If it was meant for you, it was meant for you, and can't nobody under the sun take it away unless you give it away. And that's what they're hoping for. So don't give them the satisfaction. I know that's right. If you like this video, share it with somebody you think needs to hear it. Hype this video up if it's something that's calling to you. If you want to dive deeper into understanding how to destiny swap with your highest self, how to step into quantum leap into your highest timeline, highest version, highest good, highest purpose, I have just dropped an e-course, the Alchemist Guide to Transformation and Transmutation, and I have an entire module that discusses destiny swapping with yourself and stepping into your highest timeline, your highest good, your highest purpose, how to really change what it is that you want to manifest and bring it into the physical, tangible reality. If that sounds like something that is vibing with you, all of that information will be in my description box, in my pinned comment, or in my bio. And until next time, stay divine. Peace.